Today we're going to learn about door strikes, electric strikes. So this is what we call a surface strike because it sits on the surface of the door, and we use them with like we call panic hardware. So this is a panic bar so people can push it out if there's a fire. So basically a panic. But what we want is to be able to put a key card system so people can get in. So this old strike is coming out, and this new strike is going to go in right above it. So I had to cut a bit of the door frame with a Dremel, or not the frame but the weather seal. So this I'm just going to cut. I'm going to make a nice neat cut, and then so you see this is going to hold. So this has got an anti mechanism. See that? So if somebody tried to push something through to open the door from the outside, they couldn't. Not that it matters because we've got an Astragal on here, but they gotta find a strike that fits your door. So in this case, this is what I've got. And if I pushing it, so you want to test it out first before you start making holes. And so this is good. Now, this thing is rated for like 1,500 pounds static strength, and it's good for 250,000 cycles, and it's UL listed with a 3-hour fire rating. So you can use this on a fire rated door up to 3 hours. Now, you can buy these as fail safe or fail secure. So fail safe means when the power goes out, this thing automatically unlocks, so it needs power to stay locked. And fail secure means when the power goes out, it stays locked, so it needs power to unlock. So you gotta buy the right one, and then you also gotta see the voltage, because these come as 12 volt or 24 volt, and they come as AC or DC. Now in this case, these are Camdens. They're about $600, and they work on 12 volt, 24 volt, AC, and DC. It doesn't really matter what you've got, but actually this one is designed to work with a normally open or a normally closed circuit. So all you have to do, and we've also got a resistor. So it's got a 12 volt cable and a 24 volt cable. So you just pick which voltage you're using, and then you connect that cable to the strike. And we've also got a second set of wires which tell us if the door is open or closed from here. So in case somebody tried to bypass the strike, then we'd know about it. So yeah, so they're gonna put this in, and they're pretty solid. They've got different covers. If you have any questions, please post a comment. Thank you. Okay, so I've dremeled out my door frame, and I've got, I'm gonna line up my strike, and then I'm just gonna look down here and see where the wires line up, and we're gonna make a hole. So we'll make a hole right there. Okay, so I've run my cable now. This strike's not installed yet, but I've run my wire in here, and I've crimped the Dolphin connectors onto the power, and I've cut off the actual connectors so they could fit in this hole, but you don't have to do that. And then you're going to want to tap these. We're going to do this the lazy way. So with a strike, lined up, you're gonna close the door so it's not sitting flat, but you're gonna adjust this because you don't want any play in the doors, right? So you can pull it, but if you pull, now if the strike is really tight like this, there's no play in the door, but you risk that when the door closes, it doesn't necessarily close too tight on the strike, and so the door won't close all the way. But if you push it forward too much, you'll have some play in the door. So what I kind of like to do is put it flush. We got a hole here, we got some play. So if we pull it super tight, then we want to put our screw towards the right side, and then if the door is not closing properly against our strike, we can move it forward millimeter at a time until we hit the sweet spot. Now if you've got a door closer, which you should, you can also adjust you can increase the spring tension on your door closer, so you can this comes off and you can tighten the spring, and then this door will slam harder and then you'll be okay. That might help you. So yeah, we're gonna put our strike right here, and we're gonna like right here, and then we're gonna put our screws in. Now you can use now this is the type of screw that it comes with. You want to tap this so that you got a very strong connection. You could use a self tapper, but the thing is, then you won't. Every time you pull it out, you'll be wrecking the threads, and this is not as big or as strong. It doesn't have as big of a head, and you need that head to keep that strike in place. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use a tool, tap and die set. So this is a mountainous door strike, so I've already done one. So you want to mark the hole that you're, and then you get your screw. So this is a machine screw. So what you want to do first, you grab your tap and die. So open it up and you'll find all these different taps. So you're just gonna compare the screw to the size of die, or I mean the size of tap that you're going with. So in this case I got 6 by 1, I think. So this is the right tap here. So we put this into our chuck and we close it. Now you can't, this is not a drill bit, so you cannot, I mean you could drill with it, but what you want to do is you want to find a drill bit that's slightly smaller than a tap, and it's got to be a titanium because we're going to steel. So I drilled this hole all the way through already. And then, now this part's super important. So just gonna shove this in here, and you're gonna run this. You might want to get some cutting oil, but if you don't run it the whole way, you end up getting metal shavings in the screw. So we're gonna turn this. We're going to just keep going until we're done. So see that? And just tap this hole. eventually it gets soft. And then I'm gonna take it out. Now, if you did this right, your screw will fit nice and easy. Now, if you didn't do it right, so you might need to get an Allen key. Okay, so now when we put the screw in, we should just be able to turn it with an Allen key, just like that. Now you don't have to do this, but sometimes if you're troubleshooting, I like to connect my wiring to the normally closed position, and then I'll grab my multimeter and I'll check the voltage. And so it's hard to do here, but you wanna, if you check your voltage, you wanna be getting 24 volts. So if we go back to our door, we've got red and black here. I'm gonna put my voltmeter, and we're gonna tap. Or it's hard to do with one hand, but where we go. Oops. But you want to make sure you're getting .24 volts here. How are we gonna do this? Yep, see, so we're getting just over 24 volts. So that means our wire is good. So if you plug the strike in, it's going to... Okay, so I've got my strike mounted. And mind you, I've kept it open. And I've tightened the screws. You gotta put 2 more in here. Follow the instructions, but this is pretty tough. So... So now, like, you don't actually need this piece, but this tells us if the door's shut or not. So we're gonna put it in, and then now this cover goes on top, so nice and snug, and it's just got a couple of set screws, and we're done.